Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Screen Sanctum. I'm Steve. Today, I'm going to give my brief review on the Super Mario Brothers movie that I just finally saw this past weekend on Saturday afternoon. This movie has been in the theaters for almost a month. I just haven't had the time to go see. I've been wanting to see it. I've really planned on making this a day one, but with work and just life, it wasn't meant to be. But I finally got to see it in the theater. I was really hoping that the first time I saw this wasn't on digital, but I will be watching it again on digital. But anyway, I don't do a lot of reviews because I'm not a reviewer, but I wanted to try it out on this one. So basically, before I get into it, thank you for liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell. You guys almost got me to 1,000. And, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon, Discord, just find me at Screen Sanctum. We'll have some fun. So the first thing I want to say about the Super Mario Brothers movie is I really, really liked it. And I think it was a great movie for kids and a great nostalgia movie for adults. I'm 43. I grew up on that video game. So right off the bat, I enjoyed it. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't mean anything to me. My own personal tomatoes, 2 thumbs up. It was amazing. I really had a good time. My girlfriend came with me. She had a great time. And there was a lot in there. In this hour and a half movie, there was a lot. And I'm not a breakdown channel or a super Easter egg channel. So this isn't going to be a 30-minute video. It's going to be brief. So there's going to be a lot left out. Just want to give my thoughts. So basically, the movie wasn't anything groundbreaking as far as the premise. We had, the 2 siblings, the brothers, or it could be friends. It doesn't matter, but it's always the 2 best pals, great relationship. And, they're outsiders. No one really likes them. But the brothers or the pair are really close. Like Mario and Luigi love each other since childbirth. And then the one thing that doesn't happen, which usually happens in a lot of movies, is there's a rift between those 2, and then it has to be resolved by the end. I've really enjoyed how in this movie, Mario and Luigi, growing up loved each other. Mario was the big brother. Luigi always looked up to him, always thought Mario would be there for him, and Mario was there for him. There was never a part cliched stuck in where Mario was like, Luigi, you're good on your own. I'm going to go mess with the princess, So I'm glad they kind of subverted expectations in that sense, where they just had 2 brothers who were really close, and that's all they were. There were no fights, always close together. And when Luigi was, when he got taken away, like he was genuinely scared and he wanted his brother to help. Mario, the only reason he went to the princess was because he wanted to get his brother back. So I really loved that. So that's pretty much the moral or the gist of this whole story is brothers get separated. Mario ends up in the Mushroom Kingdom. Luigi ends up in, I think it was the Darklands, basically in Bowser's world. And Mario needs to save Luigi. Mario doesn't need to save the princess, which is cool. So there was a lot that went into it, but that was the main premise, and I really liked it. So I have some little notes for Easter eggs and then some incorporating game elements. But first, I want to get quickly into the cast, go through it really, really fast. All right. So we have Jack Black as Bowser. Jack Black was amazing as Bowser. I don't know if anyone else saw this or noticed this, but when you watch the movie and you see him smile or you see some of his facial expressions, doesn't it look like Jack Black a little bit? Like you could see Jack Black's face. It still looks like Bowser, but to me, there was some instances where it did look like Jack Black. That was crazy. Princess Peach, Anya Taylor-Joy. I know this actress by face. I don't think I've actually seen anything with her in it, but she was great as Peach. Can't say anything bad about that. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong was amazing. I saw a lot of people complain saying Donkey Kong shouldn't speak English. He should just grunt, which I guess is fine. But Seth Rogen, his voice, like, he's one of the few for this character. He really didn't need to change it. He has like a Donkey Kong voice, so it was perfect. I love Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Charles Martinet as Giuseppe. As we all know, he's the main original Mario voice actor. When I get to Chris Pratt, I'll talk more about that, but he was good as Mario's dad. I mean, everyone loves him and they wanted him to be Mario, though I did not want him to be Mario. So I'm happy, not because I don't like him, but I thought it was fine that he was the father. Keegan-Michael Key as Toad. This one might have been the best because I kind of could tell who was playing each actor. Toad, it was like, I felt like it was him, but I wasn't too sure. He really changed his voice for that character, and he was great as Toad. He was amazing. Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong did a great job. That is another one that I wasn't quite sure who was actually voicing them until after the movie when I looked it up. Spike was Sebastian Maniscalco. I'm Italian. I might be the only Italian who doesn't really give a shit about this guy. I don't watch his comedy. I don't hate him, but I don't get it. But he was fine, I guess. That's all. Kamek was Kevin Michael Richardson. Great job. I don't remember. I should have researched this, but I don't remember if Kamek is the wizard. I'm assuming it is, but I'm not quite sure. Carrie Payton as the Penguin King. I actually thought that was Idris Elba. The voice sounded so deep like Idris. Wasn't Idris. So Carrie Payton did an amazing job as the Penguin King. And it says Eric Bazwa or Bowser as Toad General. And no one else here is listed. So those were the characters. Now we get into Mario and Luigi. I did not know Charlie Day was Luigi. Not that I couldn't recognize his voice. I didn't know if he changed it, but I don't really think I've seen anything with Charlie Day in it. So I just didn't know who was playing Luigi. But it was amazing. He was great as Luigi. Chris Pratt, as much hate as he got for this role, I think he was perfect for Mario. And I know there could have been anyone who came in and was perfect, but he's the one who got the part. I particularly give him a 10 out of 10 because he did a good Brooklyn accent, not a stereotypical Brooklyn accent. I could believe that this show or this movie took place in New York, in Brooklyn, but I especially like how in the first 10 minutes of the movie, Nintendo and was it DreamWorks? No, not DreamWorks. Illumination did a great job of kind of not retconning Mario's voice because I mean I am Italian. I'm not offended by Charles Martinet's version of Mario. It's just a racially stereotypical Italian accent. But no one talks like that. So I didn't expect Mario to talk like that. So I liked how in the first 10 minutes they kind of retconned it where it was like Mario and Luigi are from Brooklyn. They have Brooklyn accents. And all they use that stupid accent for is to try to sell their service. I thought that was perfect. So that's talking about the cast. Now I just want to get into quickly the Easter eggs and incorporating game elements. I'll start with game elements. I have a few here. I really enjoyed how they incorporated the main game into the movie, meaning bricks and blocks, etc. So it was perfect because they could have gone so wrong with this and just put them everywhere. Like Mario is just in a Mario land and there's just random bricks and shit laying around. But I like how it was all set up in like a combat sense. So when Mario got to the Mushroom Kingdom, he was trained by Princess Peach to go to the obstacle course. And the obstacle course were bricks and the boxes and the fire things and those fake plants and all the falling bricks. Like all of the game elements were in the obstacle course. I thought that was perfect. And also the Donkey Kong fighting arena. That was basically the original Donkey Kong game set up in the arena with bricks and blocks and stuff like that. I thought that was perfect. Well done. They could have ruined that or just made it too on the nose. I think it fit perfectly. The other cool thing was, even though the power-ups are in the blocks, I also like how the flower power-ups were in nature. Obviously, they're flowers. In the game, you get them from the brick. But kind of in real life, in this movie, there are flowers laying around. It's kind of nuts that there were so many fire ones in that scene with Peach when she has to light the fire. Like anyone could just run into that field and power up. That was pretty dope. Um, let's see. The other thing that I feel like was perfectly well done was incorporating Mario Kart into this movie. So we only really saw it in the trailer for a brief point. And again, it was something that could have been really difficult to incorporate, but they did it perfectly. It wasn't like, hey, let's race cars on Mario Kart. Like, it wasn't that. It was basically that's how there's transportation between lands, like Mushroom Kingdom to the Donkey Kong Kingdom and stuff like that. They used the carts, which I think was perfect, and I loved how they chose Rainbow Road. I think it might be the most iconic road in all of Mario Kart. So that was awesome. And I also do love how they threw in the little, this isn't an Easter egg, but I like how they had the carts were really, really almost identical to the game. And I like how in the Donkey Kong land, one of them has the little canopy, the parachute, just like in the video game. It was freaking perfect. So perfect. Let's see what else I have. I think that's all for incorporating game elements. So now we have Super Mario Brothers Easter eggs that I found to be pretty neat. So right now, spoiler warning, it'll say it down there somewhere, and I'll just get right into these. First, and these aren't in any particular order, but the first one that I caught that was awesome was how in the original Super Mario Brothers game and many Super Mario Brothers game, at the end of each level, you jump up the blocks and you jump off and you try to get as high on the flagpole as you can. And that's how you end the level. So I really enjoyed how in this movie, when Mario and Luigi get their first job and their truck breaks down, they have to run across town. I love how it's in 2D side-scrolling like the video game, where they're jumping over fences and under fences and through cement. But at the very end, when he finally jumps over the last fence to let Luigi out, what's there? I think it was called Castle Pizzeria, and their sign was a flag, and they had the music and everything, and he jumped over and hit the flag and slid down. That was awesome. Perfectly well done fan service. The next one I kind of noticed was when he gets shot to the Mushroom Kingdom and he's trying to find the princess and he has to go through all the pipes and he finally gets to the gates and there's the two Toad guards. He says, "I'm here to see the princess." What do they say? They say what was said in, I believe, Super Mario Brothers 1, when you think you're saving the princess is not in this castle. Why don't you try another one? That made me laugh out loud, hysterical, because that's something that's so iconic, but it's forgotten in my mind because I haven't played those games in so long, but they threw it in there perfectly. The next one, we have Bowser's white suit, the wedding suit. Now, after the original Mario Brothers, like 1, 2, 3, Super Mario Land, I really didn't play any until I got a Wii and then a Switch. Then I started playing like Mario Galaxy and stuff like that and all like the rebooted games. I think the white suit Bowser was from Super Mario Galaxy, and I'm sure if I'm wrong, you'll correct me. So definitely correct me below. But I remember playing the game where Bowser, I think he's huge. Like you're invited to his wedding in the game and he gets really, really big and he's in the white suit and you have to fight him. I think it was Mario Galaxy or 2. I don't remember, but you guys let me know. That was a really cool Easter egg that I enjoyed. And then the one that kind of made me the happiest was the Yoshi Easter egg. And there was actually 2, which was kind of crazy because one, and I'm jumping ahead, the post-credit scene was Yoshi. They go back down into the sewer and there's the Yoshi egg. It cracks, but you don't see Yoshi. And that is an amazing Easter egg, like for a post-credit scene. But that post-credit scene becomes a little bit, well, not odd, because earlier in the movie, before it ends, at the wedding, someone gifts Bowser a Yoshi egg. So obviously, when all this shit happened at the end, and they all get sucked through back into New York, it happens off screen, but the Yoshi egg also gets sucked in. So whenever there's a Super Mario Brothers movie 2, we know Yoshi's going to be in it because there's his egg. It cracked open in New York underground. So I can't wait for that. And And the other Easter egg I had, I already talked about it, and it's not really an Easter egg, was my opinion on how they use the accents. And I don't have to talk about that again. I think it was perfectly done. So that's the quick review. I really enjoyed this movie. I don't like giving stars or anything, but as far as what I went there to see and what they gave me in this movie, I give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Like, everything I wanted, I got. And I honestly think it was done perfectly. Now, you might think the story was simple. Maybe you didn't like certain characters, but I got everything I wanted out of this movie. I got a good story. It had a lot of feeling to it. Like, there was a lot of love, and it wasn't necessarily Mario and the princess. It was basically a story about Mario and his love for his brother Luigi and how close they are and how they never like break that bond. Even when they were separated, Mario never gave up on his brother. That's all he wanted to do, and I really like that. And, you know, Easter eggs are fine. There's a lot of movies that have Easter eggs, and sometimes it's just like, oh, here, remember this? But this wasn't like that. Everything had a purpose in this movie, and that's all I could really say. Will you love it as much as I did? I don't know. I'm 43. Like I said, I grew up playing these games throughout 40 years of my life, and the movie was kind of perfect for me. So that's all I really got. I thought it was really good. I really, really loved it. So I don't know. You let me know. If you saw the Super Mario Brothers movie, what did you all think? What do you think of my reaction? Do you agree, disagree? Did I miss anything? I know I only listed a few Easter eggs, so if you guys caught any other Easter eggs, then you let me know. But until then, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And again, Instagram, Twitter, Hive, Patreon, Discord. I would love if you found me at Screen Sanctum so we could talk. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace, guys.